What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Cisco and Mike podcast. You know, some say we're podcasters, others say we may be CIA investigators because we found someone that was missing. We got Chef Miguel Reyes in the house today.
What's up, bro? Welcome back, bro. Welcome back.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me again. It's a pleasure always coming out to you guys. Everything looks very different now.
Yeah, we've slowly it's been changing. Yeah. Hopefully it continues to change.
We matured a little bit.
That's good change, bro.
Yeah,
that's good. I think, how long ago did you guys start again?
It's been a year now. We started last March.
It's been over a year. We started every time, fool.
Well, we were doing our pre-recordings, our testing and all that, but our first official episode was in March.
Really? I thought you said it was January.
No, that was our test when we were testing with people on the cameras and all that.
Yeah, I guess it's been a year now.
A year. I think I was one of the first ones. I don't know what number I was, but I know I was one of the first ones cuando me invitaron a venir y cablerío por todos lados. Yeah. But you know what? It looks dope, man. I like it. It looks different. These lights are super hot, bro.
You can feel it?
Oh, yeah, it's hot.
We turn on the AC.
I know, it's starting to get that time of year where...
No, sí está caliente. I don't know how you're not hot with the sweater, bro.
I am, but siempre que vengo aquí, in the last couple of months, it's been cold as fuck.
Yeah, no, it's hot.
So all of a sudden, I was like, fuck, I don't even know where.
Yo lo siento caliente.
Yeah, it's the weather's getting warmer.
Yeah.
Or it's that Don Julio, bro.
Yeah, or maybe
or it's probably
the 3-4 shots you took.
Oh, yeah, I had to, bro.
You had a triple-double.
No, bro, but we're curious, man. I know we've been talking about the setup, but you started off on social media huge, and last time we were talking about social media, and you've been MIA.
Yeah.
You know, I know we had a conversation where we talked on the phone, and like, hey, bro, I want to talk to you guys. And we set it up, and we're here, and I know there's a lot you want to say.
Yeah, there is. Honestly, and like I said, I thank you guys for the invitation. Honestly, I wanted to do this with my team, my media team, and do it myself. But like, I think it's different. I saw the content you guys are creating. I saw you guys are blowing up. I was like, it's better if I just come to a more professional setting and take care of this the right way, you know? So honestly, I've been out of social media as of this week would be 3 months, 90 days, right? And it sounds super cliche, 90-day transformation, or take a month off or 2 months off. It just happened to be 90 days, honestly. It happened to be 3 months. What happened was sometimes I feel like como persona, you have to back up a little bit and examine what's going on in your life, what's going on in your circle, right? And that's what I did. I backed up. And last year, I can say mid-year, probably se puede decir por ahí de November, October, por ahí, más o menos. Well, not mid-year, closer to the end of the year. It's when I started I backed up a little bit and I examined my life unconsciously. So I would go out and nada que ver con mi trabajo. I would go out with homies, I would go out with friends or you know, and ustedes vieron que la última vez, pues, en los caballos and todo ese rollo que en lo que yo andaba, I would unconsciously examine myself, right? Or I would go to a club and be sitting there, I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? You know? And I would go back home and, you know, do it again the following week or whenever we would go out. Y poco a poco, I started to me pegaba. And I would still be working, doing my dinners. Pero cuando me empezó a pegar, when I'm like, what the hell is going on with my life? Fue cuando yo me di cuenta de que I was doing dinners, bro. I was doing dinners or I was hanging out with friends, and the way home, after I dropped off the servers at their cars and I'm driving home, and it's always like an hour drive home because I live in Paris, bro, so it's far as hell everywhere I go. So when I'm driving to anywhere 45 minutes to an hour drive home, me pegaba. I was like, damn, dude. The thing that would hit me was like emptiness. Like, dude, you're empty, bro. You can be at a dinner with full of whatever, a family or a bachelorette party or, you know, every dinner that I've done, when I drove home, it's always the same thing. I'm like, dude, you feel empty. Like, you know, 30 minutes ago, an hour ago, people were praising you, bro. Your food is good. You're the dude. You're the man. You're the chef. But as soon as you get home and I hit my bed, emptiness. And when I started to realize it was over and over and over and over again, that's when I was like, something's not right, okay? And that was something personal that I had to deal with. I backed up a little bit, and cuando empecé yo a ver que como les comenté, que people were hiring me, even way before that, years back, when I took off from Instagram. I took off from being your average guy on Instagram, catering chef, whatever you want to call it, and it went from 1,200 followers to 8,000 followers in a matter of 3 days, because I did a video with a celebrity. In 3 days, I bumped up to 8,000, and from there, I took off. Right, coming from a guy that washes dishes, years back, to, coming from humble beginnings, or, average home, and all of a sudden, a couple years down the road, you're taking off. And I'm doing parties in yachts. I'm doing bachelorette parties. I'm traveling. I'm, working with celebrities, influencers, athletes. Anybody from looking from the outside can be like, this guy's making it. This guy's happening. This guy's doing it for himself. And I thought I was, I was financially very well off. I had everything that you can probably have, I had a ranch, I had my trucks, I had my horses, I had everything, And everybody that's watching from the outside in, pues también, no, pues este güey, he's making it. He's doing it. What can I do to get there, right? Pero, como les voy a repetir, every time I go home, it's always the same thing, emptiness. And I didn't think it was right. Cuando me empezó a pegar was when I started to realize that this chef, everybody was like, dude, you're the chef, bro. I want you at my party. I want you at my bachelor party. I want you at the yacht with me. The guy with the bandana, everybody says, oh, you're the chef with the bandana. So that's like my trademark, right? So when people are saying, you're the chef with the bandana, you're that guy, I want you at my house, I want you at my party, or this and that, or you cook for tal persona. Pues, to a certain extent, aunque no quieras, I don't care how humble you are or what beginnings you come from, it gets to you. Coming from washing dishes, I think, like in my case, it does get to you. You know what I'm saying? It gets to you. And then all of a sudden, the comments, bro, the likes, DMs were blowing up. All these girls were just hitting me up. I'm one person, bro. Y te llega todo de un madrazo así, and like, boom, hits your ears, To a certain extent, tú piensas, I made it. This is where I'm supposed to be. I freaking made it. But when you realize that everybody thinks you're that guy, and when you back up, y yo solo me dije, bro, you're not that guy. You're just a guy, dude. Like, calm down. That's when you realize that, to a certain extent, I think you get humbled. I think God humbled me. He was like, dude, I can take that gift, whatever it is that you have cooking, I can take that from you, and you're done. You get in a car accident, you're done. You can cut yourself at work, a finger, your hand, you can break some part of your body, and you're done. So you're not that guy, bro. You're just a guy. Remember that. Don't ever forget that. So when I realized that and I captured that, I said, yeah, God's right. I'm just a guy. I'm just an average Joe that knows how to cook and is good at it, right? My looks doesn't matter. My trucks don't matter. My horses don't matter. The ranch doesn't matter. Everything materialistic that I have to that point, I was like, dude, I don't care about this anymore. Like, I need to really focus on what's true, right? So when that happened, it was closer to the end of the year when I realized all that. And at that point, I was already, in my mind, I was transitioning to the circle that was around me as well, because eso tiene que mucho que ver. The people you're hanging out with, right? You got dudes that were hanging out with me, guys and girls that were like, yes, man, you're a badass, you're good, he's cool, right? And then you got the people on this side that would just tell you, what are you doing? Why when you go have a drink, why do you got to get shit-faced? Why do you got to drink so much? Coming from somebody that really didn't grow up drinking, I started drinking at a later age, people would tell me, why are you drinking so much, calling me out, and I was like, dude, these are the people I need to be around with, right? And then I met like-minded business people, right? Millionaires, billionaires, people that would sit with them at a table, and their language, their mentality, era otro rollo. And I'm like, I need to be here. What the hell am I doing at Pico Rivera? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What the hell am I doing over there? You know what I mean? Like, I like that. I like the horses, but what am I learning from that? I'm wasting my years in a hobby instead of wasting my years in my career, in me, investing it in me. So when I started sitting down with these people, and they started to open up my mind and like talk about business. We would go out and have a nice dinner, 1 or 2, 3 drinks, and that's it, bro. And their conversations are not, hey, ¿qué hiciste last weekend? Hey, did you party last weekend? Hey, did you get drunk last weekend? It was more of a, hey, these are the numbers for this week. What do you think about this? Hey, Miguel, I recommend you to do this. Hey, this, like, wow. Like, conversations, I don't know, the rollo. right? Y es cuando yo me di cuenta, dude, this is where I had to be. This is where I have to focus all my energy in. Aparte del círculo que yo ya tenía de amigos que me echaban la mano. I call them, hey, you're good? I'm not really that good, bro. All right, let's talk. Hey, this and that, let's talk. Muy aparte de todo lo que les acabo de comentar, I was going through my personal stuff right up here, you know? Stuff that you just keep to yourself and you just fight it. But you have that little circle of friends that are willing to help you out. You know, that just to answer, just to sit there, bro, and listen to you. And you can repeat yourself every day, over and over and over and over and over. If they're just listening to you, pues te limpias, you know, te sacas todo lo que traes aquí. And sometimes you need that. Instead of going out to a bar and trying to, like, forget about everything with drinks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, eso me estaba pasando a mí. I was going out there, I was hanging out with the wrong people, I was listening to the wrong people. And when I realized that those people really didn't call me out on me, they didn't really call me out on what I was doing wrong, that's when I said, I don't want this for my life. I don't want this for the rest of my life. I'm going to be 34 in probably exactly a month and a couple of days, you know. April 30th is my birthday. So I said, I'll be 34, right? I said, I don't want this for the rest of my life. I don't want this lifestyle. The whole lifestyle of partying and going out, you could only do so much of it to where, like, dude, this is the same crap every weekend. It's just what changes is the venue and the people you meet, right? I was done waking up the next day with a headache. I was done waking up the next day really crap, looking at my bank account. I was like, why did I spend so much, you know?
Yeah.
You know? And I know a lot of people go through that. And I feel like some people, we need to go through it. It's part of life. It's an experience. You can say, okay, I lived it. Para que no me cuenten, pueden decir, okay, no me tienen que contar. I lived it. I experienced it. It was fun while it lasted. But now it's go time for me, you know? When I got there, bro, at that point already, I was already hanging out with the people I'm supposed to hang out with, right? So I said, you know what? It was closer to New Year's Eve. Obviously, it was in the tiempo de fiestas, and I remember it was New Year's Eve. I told my family, I think they're probably gonna hear this, they'll be like, "What the hell? You know, you lied to us." So I told my family, I'm going with my friends. I'm gonna spend New Year's with a couple friends, and I told my friends, I'm gonna spend New Year's with my family. So I did neither. Mm-hmm. You know, what I did, I got ready, I dressed up, and I booked a nice dinner for myself at a nice restaurant in Newport Beach. I drove out there from Paris to Newport Beach. It was raining that night, really bad. And I'm driving there. I was like an hour and a half. Like, what the hell am I doing here? I can barely see, you know, because it was raining really bad that day. Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember. So I drove out there. I sat at the bar. I had a 3-4 course meal. I treated myself. I was like, this is what I want to do for New Year's. Sit by myself. I don't need people around me. I looked around and all you saw was couples everywhere, families, you know, having a good time. And I was sitting at the bar looking at the TV, bro. I don't know what city they were in, but they were celebrating they were going to do the countdown, right? Cuando ya llegó el tiempo de hacer the countdown, the restaurant gave everybody a little champagne, courtesy, a little toast. And I was there, bro, and I was like, this is me. This is gonna be me for the next couple months. I'm done trying to be that chef, that guy that's always available for others for BS, you know? I was done being that guy that I'm going around chasing people pa que me quieran, you know? So I said, I'm done being that guy that wanted self what's that right word? Gratification. I don't want gratification from people, you know? Y yo me di cuenta que yo tenía que subir una foto on Instagram, right? I'm a chef on my page. Pero yo tenía que subir una foto de mí, nada que ver con cooking, so I can feel good about myself with a like, with a comment, with a view, you know? I would post something on my story, nada que ver con chef, pero first 5-10 minutes, I'm looking at who saw it, who didn't see it, who liked it, who didn't like it, who commented, what did they say? And I was like, dude, this is stupid. This is like a sickness, bro. This is not even right. You know, if you're looking at your phone, and I know a lot of people do this. I don't care what they tell me. I know a lot of people do this. You know, I'm guilty of it. I'll be the first one to say it. You post something, and you're swiping up to see, okay, this person liked it. He didn't see it. He didn't like it. Oh, they did like it this time. They didn't like it that. And you're commenting, right? I think that you took people take social media to a whole different level. You're looking for instant gratification at that point. You're looking into, I want to feel good. And if you have to post a picture of yourself to make yourself feel good, I feel like that's not right. So I was there, and I was like, I don't need this in my life. You know, my page is cooking, so I went to my page and I deleted everything to the most that I could that did not have to do with food, right? But I was like, I'm a chef. You know, if people want to know my personal life, I will share my personal life what I want, not to get that attention that I don't need, right? So from there, from beginning the second week of January was when I decided I don't care about Instagram. I don't care about a lot of other things too. I know I've been focusing on social media, but circles that I was hanging out with, people that I was hanging out with, right? I started not cutting them. That's not the right word. I backed up, you know? And after like the second, third week, my phone started blowing up. Where are you? Where you been at? I hope you're doing well. And I would just grab my phone and just look at it and put it down. Okay, I'm done. I'm not going to get distracted. I was tunnel vision. I didn't need distractions from anybody. I was tunnel vision, and I began to work on myself, right? I began to make a transformation mentally, number one. First, spiritually, you know, spiritually, mentally, and then business-wise. Where did I want to take my business? Where did I want to take my career from here on out? You know, do I want to continue doing private dinners? Do I want to continue doing caterings? Do I want to continue doing collaborations that took me nowhere? You know, and that's what people like to do. You know, that's what I thought people were trying to see. I was giving people. I was like, people want to see this, so I'm giving them this. Like, no, I'm gonna start doing stuff for myself. Like, I want to post stuff that I want. People want to see a recipe. I'll give them a recipe. People want to do this. I'll give them this. So I backed up. I talked to my small circle. I said, hey guys, nothing personal, but I'm gonna back up a little bit. You know, and if you guys want to be here for this ride with me, yeah, then I appreciate it. How long is it gonna be? I don't know. But if you guys want to be there, you guys can be there.
You know what's funny, bro? We had a guest, and he said something that really stuck out to me, and it has to do with a lot with what you're saying. He said, you know, people are always going to judge us, no matter what. Mm-hmm. You do something good, you can do something bad. So what he said was, fuck the people that praise you, and they give you gratification and tell you all the good things, and fuck the people that do the bad things as well.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what the people that say the good things, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if they say bad things. What matters is how you feel about yourself and what you think about yourself.
Absolutely.
And that thing stuck out to me like a lot.
But
because I never thought about it that way, because we always think, you know, forget about the people that hate or that talk smack or anything. But at the same time, sometimes you get people that, just like you said, you surround yourself with people that are just going to tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And we gravitate towards those people instead of the people that keep it real with us, that keep us grounded. Because I've experienced that, bro, where I separated myself from my family, from my friends, to just go drink, like you said.
Yeah.
Go drink, go numb myself with people that weren't my friends, that me seguían el rollo.
Exactly.
You know what? Hey, bro, fuck it, let's go. Oh, yeah, bro. And you think they're your homies, but they're not. You know what I mean? They're just going along with the flow and taking you down the wrong path. And it's fucked up. It's a like you said, it's a bad place.
It is.
You just feel empty.
It's an empty place, bro. It's an emptiness that it's just gratification for the moment. Cuando se te acaba, when all the flashy lights are done, bro, when everything else is said and done, you go home and you can feel empty, bro. Or you can go in a room full of, even with your family. You can be in a room sitting there with your family. Everybody's having fun and you're empty, dude.
And you're not even there. It feels like you're not even there.
Exactly. And when you get to that point in life, you feel like, okay, what am I doing? You know, especially coming from somebody that, you know, at my point that I'm a little younger and I want to be able to take my whole life, my career to a different level, right? Cuando me di cuenta yo de que that social media was putting me, and the people following me on social media, and the friends that were my friends were putting me in this pedestal, like, you're the shit, you're the guy. Y cuando yo me di cuenta que I wasn't, personally, yo me di cuenta, tú no eres nadie, you know, I was like, okay, this is where transition starts, right? So that's when I began to, okay, what's next for me? I began to, I was working for a restaurant for 3 months. So I went back to basics, bro. I was, you're not that badass chef at a yacht. Go back to basics, dog. I went to work for a restaurant for 3 months, 2.5 months, right? And in that transition, I went back to ground zero. Where did I start from? Right? I was a chef consultant for a restaurant, but I jumped in and did a lot of things that I didn't do before. I was washing dishes. I was prepping. I was in the back cooking with all the guys. I was in the front helping out with the service area, because that's what I am. I'm a chef, and that's where I started. So I had to go back to those principles, right? And that helped me ground myself back. Okay, bájate, como pues se puede decir, bájate donde tu nube and put your feet on the ground, bro. This is where you started. This is where you are. So from here, you take yourself to a different level. And I couldn't take myself to a different level and blow up because I was so jacked up here, right? And I feel like a lot of people, not even social media, just in general, a lot of people go through a lot of stuff up here that won't let you move to a different section in life. Okay, so I went back to ground zero, number one, with my industry. I went back to my faith, going back to church, going back to reading my Bible, and my daily prayers. I think it's very important grounding yourself in your faith because of the world, how it is right now, bro. I mean, distractions come from everywhere, bro. And mucha gente me decía, like, amigos, se puede decir, que me decían, bro, tú la tienes hecha, bro. You're single. You have everything going for yourself. You can cook. Probably your DMs are full of, like, girl messages. And to be honest with you guys, they were. They're not now, but they were for sure, My boys saw it. They were for sure were, But when I said, I don't need that, I don't need all this attention, man. For what? Like, I don't need all this attention from here. I don't need to be going to these different type of events, because to a certain extent, you lose who you are. As a person, you lose who you are. You focus more on getting that attention from guys, from girls, from people, from groups. And I said, no, I got to go back to basics. So I started going. I made a checklist. What is it that you want to do, Miguel, in your life, for the rest of your life, to where you build a strong foundation right now, so that when you get to the place of starting a family and being with somebody and getting married and todo ese rollo, you don't have all this baggage next to you, dude. I don't want to be worrying about, I got to block this person, I got to mute this person, I don't need to worry about that. I'm too old for that, I'm way too old for that baggage. I want a clean slate, focus on myself, and when I do get to the point of being married and having a family, dude, I don't have to be worried about my phone's going to blow up at 2 a.m. with, somebody random hitting me up. You know what I mean? So all that for me was like, it was, se puede decir un cambio aquí arriba. Y aparte de eso, fue cuando yo empecé a juntarme con la gente que me tenía que juntar. I would go to weekly meetings with my friends. I found a business mentor that I can say in these 3 months, I've taken my business to a whole different level than I've done in the past 3 years because of this one person. And this one person introduced me to his mentor, and then I started hanging out with other business owners that I know that are very well off, told me the same thing. I've sat in their office and same thing. Miguel, focus on yourself, focus on the business, focus on you. And I started to engrave that in here. Started working on my health, on my fitness, going to the gym every day, drinking a gallon of water every day. The cliche that you see everywhere, But to a certain extent, you do need that. You need the physical, the cleanliness of your health and all that. You do need it, right? So when I started getting all my points in order from top to bottom, I said, okay, now I can continue where I was at. I'm going to leave the past in the past, and I'm going to continue where I'm at now. So I think now where I'm at is I hit the hump. I went over the hump already. Now I'm like, let's continue where I'm at. Let's focus on the goal and go from there. So I think for the past, you can say 90 days. I got one week left, you can say, of a transformation that I did. And right now I'm super focused. I'm still tunnel vision. I'm not letting the outside people come in anymore. I pick and choose who I want in my circle, okay? The people that are in my circle right now are very small, 10 people at the most, if that. And those are the people that I look out for, and they look out for me. I've always told these guys and girls, I said, your success is my success. Your failures are my failures. So if you need me, I'll be here. The outside world they can wait.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because I know I haven't jumped in. I've just been observing and absorbing everything. But obviously, you talked a lot about how you started in your craft,
Yeah.
and eventualmente it got lost in the translation.
Yeah.
Te perdiste, como quien dice, lo que querías hacer, que era chef.
Yeah.
Tú eres un chef, y era lo que tú querías ser conocido por ser un chef. Pero en a way you were, pero se mixtió con un medio ambiente que no te empezó a gustar.
Sí.
Ahora, has tomado 90 días, you're off for 90 days. You haven't been on social media for 90 days, right?
No.
Okay. Are you scared that when you come back, that instant gratification, if it's not there, based on what you want to do, for example, you're focusing, todo tu content va a ser diferente.
Yes.
¿Tienes miedo a que la gente que te started following you te deje de follow porque ya no estás haciendo lo que hacías antes? Si eso lo tienes en la mente, I'm sure you've thought about that. ¿Cómo has preparado? ¿Qué es lo que... What's your train of thought about coming back and being ready for that? Because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
People are going to say, hey, what the fuck? Tú no eres el mismo. What happened to this? What happened to that? How are you going to respond to that? Like, what's your attack for that?
Honestly, it's very simple. I don't care.
Okay.
At this point, I don't care. I was keeping up with my Instagram, just checking up, right? And I lost followers for sure. About 300 followers in 3 months, probably 100 followers per month. And I'm probably losing them some as we speak. But I'm at the point that I don't care. 300 people less, 300 people more. I don't care. I can gain 300 followers in a couple months. Honestly, to answer your question, and straight up, I don't care. If they don't want to follow me, go follow somebody else. I don't care. You're still gonna watch. I guarantee you're still gonna watch.
Yeah, that's the reason I remember before we started talking, I'm like, I have a question.
Yeah.
Because obviously your content before was tailored to Mexicans, to Mexicanos like us, The rancho, the cooking like Mexican food and cooking things that are traditional.
Yeah.
And very traditional, Like, just to piggyback off what he said, like, yeah, I think you are going to experience that because people are going to be like, oh, he's not the same guy anymore now. He's not, he's not representing us. Now,
Yeah. Do you feel like maybe people are going to say, oh, he's too good for us now?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think so.
Ya se cree.
My traits, my roots are always the same. I wear the Mexican bandana on my forehead very proudly to represent all the Mexicans. I wear it to represent all the immigrant parents like mine, that worked hard to have their kids where they're at now, the kids that took advantage of, the opportunity of what their parents did. So I wear it very proudly. I just want to focus more on my career, on what a chef is, Will I still record other content that has to do with Hispanic food? Absolutely. But my main content is going to be from now on just upscale stuff, That's my ultimate goal, to open up a restaurant with upscale food. I think I mentioned the first time I was here.
We talked about that.
So that's what I want, right? So I want to start transitioning and having the viewers see, okay, this guy went from cooking tortillas to, some gourmet stuff, which you see in my dinners, but now you're going to see it in videos throughout my Instagram. That's also going to help me marketing wise, because people are going to see that, okay, can you come do this at my house? They see a dish, they like it. Okay, I want this for my birthday or whatever, So it goes hand in hand. Pero lo de mexicano, lo de que tenía antes de caballos, de eso, I think I'm back up a little bit on it, Like I mentioned to you guys, I want to post personal stuff when I feel like I should, Look, I love it. I still would go and hang out with my boys. I'm still doing all that, But I'm doing it more privately, and I know who to do it with and who not to do it with. I know who I need to reach out if I want to have a good time, and people that would call me out and be like, dude, let's call it a night for today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for sure. Am I scared? I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to follow me, if you don't want to follow me, if you want to support me, you don't want to support me. It is what it is. There's other million chefs you can follow. There's other people that you will see in a different content you can follow. Like, For me, I don't take that personal at all. Before I did, and that's what was jacking me up. That before was like, oh shoot, my views on my stories are dropping. My likes are dropping. My content is not doing as it should. Pero siento que todo pasa por algo. So now, if my content explodes in a good way or if it explodes in a bad way, then it is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, I mentioned last time, at the end of the day, if you want to, if Instagram wants to cut down my page, they'll cut it down. I'm still a chef.
You know, social media, what we're talking about, is like a drug, right?
Oh, for sure.
It's like a drug. It's addicting. You get that dopamine rush, and you just get that instant gratification, like you said.
Yeah.
Just saying, like in the same context, have you thought about, like, damn, what do I got to do to make sure I don't relapse? To make sure that I don't go back to that same place? I know a lot of times we say, you know, like, especially when we start like routines, workout routines, I started doing this, and this. But it's about staying consistent. And there has to be something that keeps you consistent. Have you found that? Like, obviously your passion is cooking. Did the focus going back to that? Like you said, you worked at a restaurant. Is that your main thing that's going to keep you grounded and make sure that you don't fall back?
I think so. I think that that was a good experience for me that I had to live. I had to go through everything I went through as a person. Olvídate lo del chef. As a person, I had to go through everything I went through, you know, and I had to go back to my roots. Where did I start? You know, and to keep me grounded as a person up here, because I think it's one is up here and then your heart. How do you keep yourself grounded? And I think number one is that. Where did you start? You know? And it's very simple, and I don't want to get all religious about it, but it is what it is. God gave you this gift. God gave you the gift that you have. God gave you the gift you have, right? He can take it away like this in seconds. Tomorrow, I can go back home, get in a car accident. I'm done. Done. You know, no more cooking for this guy, you know? Or I can go do my dinner on Sunday, chop my finger off. How am I going to hold a knife? I'm done. Got to find something else to do now.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what's going to keep me grounded. You know?
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Have you considered not going back to social media at all?
I need it.
Okay, so it's a need in the sense for
Business.
for promotional
And business purposes.
Okay,
yes,
gotcha.
Because I do want to open up restaurants and stuff like that. So I do need it for my, you know.
Yeah, no.
It's more of a marketing.
Marketing, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the messed up part, I think, now. You know, it's crazy because social media is responsible for so many restaurants, businesses blowing up that we probably would never hear of.
But I think, fool, that there was an era for social media where everything was natural. It was fucking
In a
raw.
sense,
It was organic. Very.
Organic,
There you go.
raw. You know, it was like now everything's catered to ads. Who can get the most likes? And it goes back to that. It's like you were talking about. I mean, I don't know who this guy is, but a guy that does dances while he cooks. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's tons of people that cook with other shit. Like I remember I used to watch this show. What was his name? Don Severiano. And he started organically. He was cooking, I think he's from San Diego, and he cooks at his house. And he wasn't a chef, nothing. He was just cooking random Mexican Sunday food, you know what I'm saying? He siempre pisteaba sus little tecate. And I remember when he started, it was so organic. So organic. He was doing carnitas one day with this one dude. And that video blew up. Okay, it got like fucking over 2 million likes. And him and his homeboy did it. Well, his homeboy had a travel channel that he was starting up. Now, these are two older Mexican dudes, okay? And that video blew up because it was carnitas, chilling. And he wanted to replicate that so bad. That dude started doing everything he could. He started dropping 3 videos. This fool made 1 million types of huevos. Huevos a la this, huevos a la that, huevos a la fa. I was starting to think like, damn, fool, you're fucking making up shit, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Pinche colesterol bien alto, güey, no mames.
No, but what I'm saying is people were doing todo, como tú dices, para gratification, esos likes. He wanted to achieve that 1 million view shit. And it's like, what's the point at that point, you know? But I get it. For promotional purposes, I mean, everybody needs that.
Yeah.
But when you get caught up in that, because I did it. It happened to me too. Mm-hmm. I did it with my photography. There was a point in my life when I would come home from fucking shooting, out in whether it be on the streets or photo shoots, I'd be editing until 3, 4 in the morning, dog, going to work at 7. Fucking editing, posting on Instagram, and checking every goddamn second how many likes. And then I would compare myself to other photographers. Oh, but this fool fucking had a similar picture and he got 1,000 likes and I got fucking 20. Why? What the fuck is he doing? Blah, 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 blah. You know, you start questioning who you are.
Yeah.
You're like, who the fuck am I? Am I good enough?
Exactly.
Like, people will tell me, dude, your shit should be in a fucking gallery. I'm like, why? Like, I took that shit right there. Yeah. I'm proud of that one.
That's a bad picture.
That's mine. I took it and I gave it to him because he liked it.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's my compadre, but people praised me, but I wasn't feeling
exactly
the accolades. I felt like, no mames. No mames. You know, you're just saying that because you gotta say it. Mm-hmm. So I get you. When you say.
You get lost, bro. We start comparing our lives. You know, one of the reasons why I don't have social media is for the same reason. You know, like, found myself, same thing, you know, like, have a business and you're still comparing, you know, you're still comparing your life to other people. And you see all these people traveling, doing this, doing that, all the positives, you know, like.
Yeah.
And like you said, they didn't see you go home and feel shallow, feel empty, be around your family, but feel like you're not even there. You're just watching, but you're not even there.
Yeah.
You know, they don't see that side of it.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. Sometimes we just got to be organic and be real and be able to express it, even if it's on social media. Like, hey, you know, it's not all roses and sunshine, you know? Like, it's dark, too. It can be super dark.
Yeah.
How many people we see, like, trends or people that commit suicide, especially now, you know, like mental health, now is way up here compared to where it was, right? And I'm not saying it's social media, but I think there's a correlation.
Go back to social media.
There's a correlation to it. There can be a correlation, I'm sure, tied to it. Yeah. Because, like we said, people are comparing their lives, their experiences.
And it's not just that, fool. If you look at it, like bullying.
Oh, yeah.
Bullying when we grew up, at least when we grew up, because, you know, we're a little bit older than you.
Yeah.
But I'm sure this same thing happened in your era. It happens in every era. It happens with my kids right now. Mm-hmm. Bullying at school is one thing. But with social media,
es otro rollo.
Ya valió madre. That shit expands. Like, if you get bullied at school, now these fools have phones, and the first thing they do is they post it online.
You're done.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Not even that. People just commenting.
Yeah.
No matter what you say or do. If you're
check this shit out. I got a TikTok, right? I'm trying to make funny videos for me. Which, like I said, I don't give a fuck anymore about posting. You know, I told you that. The other day, my son se metió I bought something que me llegó en una caja grande.
Yeah.
Dijo mi son, I'm going to make it a plane, Dad. Lo voy a hacer un avión. Y se metió el güey, and he was flapping it fucking funny. So automatically, pues, lo grabé el güey, and le puse una canción de la de los fucking Einsteins, little Einsteins. La de We're Going on a Trip. Y la puse and I posted it on TikTok como si nada. I don't post my kids, by the way. Yeah. But I decided to post it because I thought it was funny. I didn't notice that I had The Walking Dead. Estábamos mirando Walking Dead, yo y mis two daughters, because they're teenagers. Y estaba and stopped because my son doesn't watch that shit. It's too scary for him. I posted it without thinking, and I didn't even notice there was fucking zombies in the fucking background.
Yeah.
I get 2 comments. How are you letting that little kid watch Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Oh, did anybody notice a little kid watching Walking Dead? Like, dick, it was fucking blowing up, and I was like, dude, if you notice, the TV is on stop, and the little kid looks super happy. If he was to watch that, he'd be crying.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I need to respond, but then I was like, man, fuck these fools.
Exactly.
Like, he wasn't watching it. I know he wasn't watching it.
You get caught up trying to argue.
You get caught up in that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck.
When you start trying to defend yourself to people you don't even know, that's the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's true.
When it's a problem, like if somebody comments something and you don't like it, I mean, why are you posting in the first place? You know? Why, in my head, why would you post something where you know people are gonna say something dumb? You know?
Yeah.
But if you're always just answering, like, something's wrong.
Because now you're giving them the power, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So I thought about that, and I was like, man, fuck these fools.
Yeah.
Next person that comments, I was like, yeah, that little fool likes the fucking zombies or some shit. I was just gonna put something dumb, but then ya paró, so me calmé.
Yeah.
But still, I get you. Like, it's easier to get caught up in either the drama or the praise part of it.
Yeah.
Because even when they praise you, you're like, oh shit, God, yeah, cool, thank you, blah 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 blah. And
yeah, and it's, I think, to a certain extent, it's cool. It's nice, bro. It's nice porque en mi caso, yo iba a lugares, and I thought it was hilarious that before, iba a un restaurante o algo, and randomly, hey, you're the chef from Instagram, let's get a picture, whatever. Yeah, of course, you know. But now that I'm off for 3 months, I've been at the restaurant I was working at. Like, I would go out to the dining area, And people were like, what the hell are you doing here? Hey, we get a picture with you. And I got more attention now than I did before. And I'm like, that's what it's about, just backing up, doing your thing, And if the attention comes, then it comes. And if it doesn't come, then it's still, it is what it is, And that's when I started to see, okay, going back to fundamentals, going back to the basics, that's what it is, right? And this transition that I was doing, I started going out by myself. No more going out with guys or hanging out. I would go have dinner by myself. I've done lunch by myself. I've gone to the movies by myself. And it looks depressing because everybody's with their couples or with their family. But I'm having a good time. I'm having a really good time.
You got to love yourself first, bro.
Absolutely. So I remember the week before last week, I took off to San Diego. I was like, I got nothing going on today. I'm taking off to San Diego. So I drove to San Diego and I visited 3 restaurants. That's what I've been doing lately. Visiting different restaurants in one day, 2 to 3 restaurants, trying different foods. And I'm walking around with a little notebook. The ones that flip over, take notes. I take notes on the food presentation, on the flavor, on the taste, on decor, go back and I study, right, for my purposes.
What you liked, you put a star.
Yeah.
What you didn't like, okay, I'm not doing that.
Exactly. Or I get ideas for myself
Flavors.
and come back and create something on my own, right? So, como les voy a repetir, I met this guy and I think everything happens for a reason. I'm sitting at the bar. The hostess said, there's one spot at the bar. Perfect, I'll sit. It was in between 2 couples. A couple here and a couple here. I sat right in the middle. So I had 1 drink. I'm eating appetizers. I was there for about 45 minutes. No, I was there for like 3 hours, but in the first 45 minutes that I was there, these guys over here, I can feel they were talking about me. I can hear them.
Why is he alone? Why isn't he alone?
Why? What is he taking notes on? This and this and that. And all of a sudden, there's 2 guys. The one on that side, he turned that way and he started talking to the guy on that side. So this guy over here is by himself, right? He's all of a sudden, I guess I'm by myself now. So volteo para acá. He starts talking to me. What are you taking notes on? And I look over, so I'm taking notes on the food. He's like, well, what are you, like a chef or something? I was like, yeah, I'm a chef. And then I guess the other guy heard it. He was like, you know what? I told you. I was like, what do you mean I told you? They were talking amongst themselves about me. And he was like, you know what? I guess there were a couple. Era una pareja, no dos hombres, era una pareja. Y el de acá le dijo a este, dije, I told you this guy was different. So the guy turned around that way again. Y ese se quedó hablando conmigo por 1 hora casi. 1 hora. And he starts just like you can say preaching to me. He just starts talking, starts speaking facts and just kind of motivating me. They're older. They're probably in their 50s, bro. Mid-50s, early 60s. Mid-50s, early 60s, por ahí, más o menos. Right? And I'm 33, but I'm here just like listening to him. He's over here eating, I'm eating, we're talking. And then he stops and he says, what are you doing? I said, I'm listening to you. He calls me out. He says, why aren't you taking notes? He says, I'm a professor for NYU. They're on vacation from New York, bro. He said, I'm a professor for NYU. I'm a therapist. I have 2 masters and I have 2 PhDs. He said, I'm giving you a lesson that I charge outside to people. I give them therapy. I give them lessons for $350 an hour. I'm giving you this for free because I feel like you want to learn this. Why aren't you taking notes? At that point, I felt stupid. So I started taking notes, bro. I'm taking notes. I pulled out my phone, go up to the notes. I left the notebook there and I started taking notes on my phone. Right? Literally, no les miento, I took about 2.5 pages of just notes, bro. He started breaking things down for me in my career. He's like, this is what you need to do. This guy's a therapist. He knows nothing about culinary arts. But the way his mentality was, he started breaking things down for me. And he said, one thing that really stuck to me and that I'm going to live by is this. He said, Miguel, what is your ultimate goal in life? What do you want to do? Besides a chef. You can cook. Besides the chef, what is your goal? I said, I want to build leaders. That's what my ultimate goal is. I want to be able to build leaders in my industry and an industry outside. What I mean by that is if you get younger dudes coming and trying to come up in the culinary field or in their personal life, how can me as a person, or you guys even in your guys' case, how can you help this person get to a different level, right? Because to a certain extent, we all had somebody to push us, whether it's our parent, whether it's a friend, whether it's a mentor, whatever it is. We had somebody that took us to a different level. How can we get this person or this person to be a chef or to be whatever the heck he wants to be, you know? And when he told me, I was like, I want to be a leader. He's like, what's your first thing to be a leader? What do you think a leader is? My concept of a leader is, to be a leader, you have to be a servant, number one. I think you have to be a servant. And to be a servant, you have to be very selfless. Being a servant is doing exactly what nobody wants to do. In my case, wash dishes, pick up, sweep, mop, prep, cook. Not just be a chef, not just be the head guy. Be a leader, be a servant. And to be a servant, you got to be a leader. And to be a leader, you have to have people that follow you. You know, you have to have, se puede decir, como ese drive que la gente dice, okay, solita se te pega. And, you know, so he said, perfect. He said, I like the way of thinking. He said, I'm going to give you an example. And I think we see this a lot on social media as well. You go on social media, or even go on YouTube, and you hit the short videos. I watch them a lot. On the way over here, I was listening to motivational speaking. I think it helps you, right? He said, you want to be a motivational speaker, or you want to be a leader? I said, a leader. I said, okay. So I'm going to give you the difference. A motivational speaker, you can go to a conference, he said. You can pay thousands of dollars for a conference, show up and listen to X, Y, and Z talk about how they got from here to driving a Ferrari. And guess what you're pulling up in? A Honda Civic, bro. You barely make ends meet. And you're paying $1,000 to sit at a conference, take notes for 2 days, whatever the case is, and you're listening to them, and they're telling you the surface. I mean, wake up in the morning, you know, wake up, go to the gym, drink a gallon of water, do this, do that, and one day you will be here. They get paid and they leave. They go to their mansion, but you go to your apartment or you go to your little room. And in the first week, you're trying to match everything they said. I got to do this. I got to go door knocking. I got to meet this person. I got to go to this meeting. I got to go here. You're wearing a 3-piece suit, bro, on a credit card. You know what I mean? That's what he told me. And I'm thinking, I was like, shoot, that was me. You know? Second week, he said, you're doing exactly the same thing, but you know what? This day I'm not going to go to the gym. It's okay if I miss a day. You know, it's okay if I cheat on this day, if I eat something different. It's okay if I don't go to this meeting, if I push it over to the following. Third week, you're actually like deleting second week and first week. Now you're just jumping days. And then there's days where you don't do nothing. Fourth week, a month into that conference, that drive, that dopamine level was dead. You know? Because that motivational speaking is just a hype. It's just the moment of. It's like everything that I went through. You know? It wasn't a motivational speaking, but it was the experience. Motivational speaking conference or whatever, it's the experience of, I want to get where this guy's at. And it's very doable.
And I want to get there fast.
Exactly. I have nothing against those guys. Obviously, that's our ultimate goal, to be at a certain level where you're financially stable, you're good, and you're able to help other people get there, right? But he said, it's beautiful. He said, I'm there, but I was never a motivational speaker. He said, you know what took me there was one person. He said, instead of going to a motivational speaker, find yourself a teacher. He said, a teacher will get you there, but will get you to the right way. You find a teacher, and what is the teacher going to do? A teacher is going to help you in the process of, if I'm making a step from here to here, and then in this little gap, I'm going to make mistakes. What is the teacher going to do? Stop there. Just fix this before you jump to the next one. A motivational speaker is always going to say, do this, this, and this, and this, and you will get here one day.
And if you fail, you don't follow my steps.
Exactly.
Or he didn't explain to you the in between of the steps.
Yeah. He said, so a teacher is going to take you to a different level. He said, and before you're a teacher, you're a student. And I was like, dude, everything he was talking to me, I was like, bro, I just went back to be a student. I was washing dishes a couple weeks ago, you know what I'm saying? I was at the restaurant. I went back to being a student. And I think overall, we have to go back as a person in everything we do to be that student.
I think we always have to stay as a student too,
absolutely.
bro. Even once you become a teacher, we can learn. You can learn something new from everybody, pretty much, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it goes back to, I like karate movies, so it's like the senseis and their students, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, a student is going to overpower or overcome the sensei. Mm-hmm. So if he just stays stuck as a teacher and never learns, he's not going to grow with the students. His students are going to outgrow him, and eventually he's going to become obsolete. Or not obsolete, but not be the sensei.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with anything else. If you stop learning, you're not gonna continue growing. And I'll give an example, like with photography. I used to teach myself. I was so motivated. I was self-taught. I learned everything I wanted about the camera, and then I stopped. Well, there's all kinds of fucking new cameras, all kinds of new lenses, all kinds of new editing software. I go back to it now. I'm like, holy shit! Like this is different. Even the editing software that we use here. So I stopped. You know what I'm saying? And when you stop, you start limiting yourself because everything. We as people are always evolving. Y cuando paras, you stop evolving with it. So I think that you're right. You got to continue to learn.
Yeah, and that's what he said. I grabbed that, and I was like, he met me 2 weeks ago. I was already in a whole different mindset from months back. So I told myself, okay, everything I've been doing till now has made sense with what this guy said. He said, be a student. And one thing que se me quedó bien importante, he said, for you to learn what you have to learn in your industry, he said, besides being a student, he's invest in what you have to invest in the craft that you're doing. Invest in it. Not with materialistic stuff, but invest in it, reading books, right? Reading books on leadership. So I've been reading this book on leadership, right? I've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes that is helping me stay in the same mindset. So I won't lose the mentality that I'm in, right? So he said one thing. He said, un maestro, a teacher, will never look for a student. Never. If you guys go back and think about school, when did a teacher ever look at you? The only thing he's looking for you is like, how come you didn't turn your homework? But to teach you, a teacher will never look for you. And I've learned that. If you want to learn something, anything in life, you go look for that person.
Yeah.
Right? And if the teacher sees interest in you, he or she will invest time in you. So he says, I said, thank you very much, doctor. You know, his title. He said, don't thank me. He said, I'm asking you for one thing very simple before I leave. He said, everything you learn today and everything you're learning in life now and everything you're going to learn, thank me by doing this. Teach this to the next person. Teach this to the next person, but be very careful who you invest time in. Be very careful because you don't want to give all this information to somebody that's not going to take advantage of it. He said, the reason I gave it to you, I'm a therapist. I can read you. You're the type of dude that's going to take off. He said, at 33 years old, I wasn't doing what you're doing. So I know you're going to take off. For me, that's very motivational. You know, I took it very like, all right, dude, you're doing good. Keep doing this. So he left, gave me a hug. He's like, all right, appreciate it. Thank you very much. They left together, right? They did their thing. And I stayed there, finished my food. I drove home. It was about an hour and a half drive home. 11 o'clock, 12. I think I got home at 12:30, something like that. And I'm driving, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, bro, you haven't done too bad for yourself in the past couple of weeks, past couple of months. You've been silent, but sometimes being silent is better than being loud. Ese dicho que dice less is more, and I think I've been doing less, but I've been achieving a lot more in a lot of areas, you know? Mm-hmm. So even now that I still go out with a couple friends here and there, it's not the same anymore. Mentally, I'm not in there no more. I'll go have a drink or two. That's it. I don't need to get buzzed. I don't need to feel buzzed anymore to feel good. And I don't go home feeling empty anymore. Go home, have knock out, read my books, knock out, and say my good night prayers, and wake up and do it again all over again. I have a system now. Wake up, go to the prayers, go to the gym, go throughout my day. What do I got going on today? Come back home, go to sleep, and do it all over again. And guess what? It's been helping me up here. So now that I want to come back on Instagram, it's just a whole different person. I'm a whole different person. Besides the chef part, I'm just a whole different person. I want to come back out to the world and be like, all right, this is what it is, right? If I can be of assistance to anybody in this area or in these areas, people that are struggling with, why not? I mean, I went to therapy for 7 months. You know, I was going through anxiety. I was going through depression. Stuff I put there and all about, right? Gracias a Dios, ya ando 100 times better, right? Pero if I can help somebody that's going through it or that, you know, that feels a certain way, why not? I don't have to. It doesn't always have to be about cooking with me. You know, I can sit down and talk to you and listen to you and be like, all right, bro, this is what I recommend. Take care of this, do that, focus on this. talking about culinary field, all the younger chefs, okay, let's get here. What is your goal? Let's get here. Make sure you know the basics first, you know? And so my goal overall right now is to be a leader.
Yeah.
Right? Teach leadership to other kids, to young dudes, even dudes that are my age or even older. Sometimes I can teach them something. Sometimes they can teach you something. Sometimes the young dudes can teach me something. And always, like you said, always be available to be a student. It's always, you want to be a student.
Yeah.
You want to be a student forever. And at one point when you become the teacher, make sure who you give your time to and how do you do it the right way.
I want to go back a little bit, bro, because right now you said you went to therapy. Therapy is life changing, man. You know, I went to therapy too, and it changes. You know, a lot of things you realize you never thought were important, but that really affect you.
Yes.
Yeah. What did your family say? Did you tell your family? Because obviously there's a stigma. You know, we've talked about this before. What did your family say when you were going through all this?
So they don't know.
Well, they're gonna know.
So my family doesn't know anything, honestly, and I took it upon. A lot of people say, "Why don't you tell your parents? You know, talk to your parents, talk to your brothers, talk to your sister." It's not that I want to talk to him. It was more of a no nos quiero preocupar. I'm a grown dude, bro. Let me figure it out on my own. You know, my parents don't even be knowing every personal thing, every little thing that's going on in my life. You know, and my mom, you know, moms know, bro. Every time I go over, my mom's like, "Yo sé que traes algo. It's been a long time. Ya te veo diferente. You're different. You're more serious."
They're intuitive.
Yeah,
They know that shit.
And when I was going through my things that night, I was hitting my boys like in the morning. I was like, dude, my mom hit me up last night. This morning, she's like, dude, last night I couldn't sleep because I was thinking about you. And that night I was like, bad. But my mom's know, bro. Dad's know because you got my phone blowing up with my dad. And mentally, like, dude, I don't want to answer because I'm not there. They're gonna see something, right? And so I don't think my mom. Nobody knew that I was going to therapy. I think my dad. I told him one time. We were having dinner one day, and I mentioned to my dad, you know what, I haven't said anything, but I've been going to therapy for, at that point, 4 months already. And he said, if that's helping you, then continue to do it. But I don't think my mom, I don't know if my dad told her, but coming from me, my brothers, my mom, my sister, nobody knows that I was going to therapy.
Are they? Would they be opposed to therapy or?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. They're very open minded. I know that I can go there and talk to them about anything I want. You know, I have that relationship with my parents and my family. But there's things where I think this chapter in my life I had to do it by myself. Gotcha. I had to because I can sit there and talk to 1,000,001 people and I get 1,000,001 answers. But what am I gonna do with them? You know, it's what I felt, and I think it was just between me and God, and I had to take care of it that way.
You know, and I agree with what you did.
Yeah.
Because when I was going through the same thing, I didn't tell my mom I was going to therapy, but after, you know, like I kind of mentioned and everything. But like you said, I think we have to go through it alone because as mothers, you know, Mexican mothers, they tend to support you. And I don't want to say they want to prep you up and prop you up and be like, yes, and tell you the things you want to hear. But they support you in a different way that maybe is not the best for that moment.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
I guess.
Like I feel like my mom would be like, oh, okay, cool, you know, but like it was just like, oh, you know, you're doing better, you know, like you're doing better, and it kind of you're lying to yourself, yeah, I'm doing better, te miro diferente, yeah, I'm doing better, but in reality, there's still so much more that you have to like dive into and work on.
Yeah, but I'll say one thing with the whole therapy thing because I know you praise therapy all the time. Not all therapists are good.
Yeah.
You know, you could go. It goes both ways. You could go to a good therapist and not be truthful. You don't lie to yourself and just sit there and tell them what you want to tell them. Because at the end of the day, you're either scared to tell them the truth or you just don't feel comfortable telling them the truth, right? So you get what you get out of it, depending on you. But at the same time, let's be honest, not to shit on any therapist, but there are a lot of the therapists out there, they're not really qualified to handle a lot of the situations. A lot of them are young, you know, they're barely learning. Yeah. So finding the right therapist is the correct thing because
it is.
I've gone to therapy since maybe 2006 now. Different therapists. I've had a shitload of therapists. Yeah. And there's therapists where I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm just wasting my time.
And you know what's funny? You say that because the guy who was sitting next to me at that restaurant, he did say one thing that I didn't, at that point I didn't know, right? At that point I wasn't going to therapy anymore. I don't go anymore. But he did say, because like, coming from a therapist point of view, he said, if you're ever going to go back to therapy, he said, if you don't see any change in the first 15 days, that's not the person you need to be at.
Yeah.
If you don't see change in 15 days, which is 2 weeks, if you don't see change in 2 weeks in yourself, you need to be there. He said, when I have therapy sessions with my people, across the world, and I don't see any change in 15 days, I cut them. He said, what is the point of continue going to therapy or continue doing something for your life if you don't see any change? At that point, you're just talking to somebody, So I felt personally that I did therapy for 7 months, right? And it did help me a lot. 100% it helped me. I felt like I needed that. I needed to just be open with somebody that I did not know and just tell them, this is what I went through, right? And I've never talked about this, but I was married for 6 years, right? I was married for 6 years. Now I'm divorced, but I went through a lot of stuff in my marriage, that I never said or I never talked about in the world out there, the social media world, right? A lot of people didn't even know I was married. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was so very private, but at the same time, I was hiding a lot of things, right? So I went through a lot of things there, and then a lot of things in my career, and then a lot of personal stuff. So todo se amontonó. Todo se amontonó, y fue cuando me di cuenta, like, dude, you need to make a change. Because if you don't, it's going to continue to grow and grow and overlap and overlap and overlap to where you're going to be like, dude, at one point you're going to be like, where am I?
You're living 2 lives, bro.
Yeah,
I
was. So now I'm living one life and I feel a lot better. So I think from here on out is it's going to be very crucial for me who I let back into my life. Very crucial. Who's in my circle, who's going to be part of my life for the rest of my life, and what my goals are. What are my ultimate goals? What am I going to do for the rest of my life, and how am I going to get there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy shit, man. We've talked a lot about a lot of the issues that we normally people are afraid to come out and say them. And I want to say thank you, bro, because you asked to come again. You asked us to come here and share that story, that part of your life, which I think it's amazing because we all go through transformations all the time. Mm-hmm. I know I've gone through some shit. I'm still going through some shit. One day I'll talk about it here, guys. I don't know if I'm ready yet, but not to say less. I mean, speaking about it, that's a brave thing. So acknowledging it is another thing too, because a lot of times the acknowledging part is what's the hardest. Mm-hmm. And if you can't acknowledge it, then you can't move or try to work on it. And the fact that you did all of that and are doing it, I want to praise you for that. So thank you for coming on here and saying that. And everybody out there, if you have a story, talk to somebody, talk to whoever you feel comfortable. And I'm speaking to you guys. It could be your mom, it could be your dad, it could be your brothers, it could be your best friend. We've always said this, don't ever not talk to nobody. You always need somebody to talk to. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that because before I forget it.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I feel a lot of what you felt, that emptiness, the shallow feeling like everybody tells you, you have the world in your fingertips. Like, why would you feel that way, Mm-hmm. But like you said, man, staying grounded, material things, fame, money doesn't bring happiness. It truly doesn't. And a lot of people, it does help.
Give me that shit.
Let's clear that up.
Give me I'll take the horses. I'll take the money. Fuck it, give it to me.
It does help, but it's not everything, I should say.
It's temporary, bro.
Yeah,
it helps. Obviously, you do need to be financially stable to live. You do, de vez en cuando, comprar tus gustitos. It helps, like you said. And that's what you work hard for. You're going to work hard the rest of your whole life and not do nothing with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Traveling, all that. Trust me, I'm not opposed to that. I'm all about it. But there's a time and a place. And when I realized that I was doing it backwards, I was trying to live this life that...
You're faking it till you make it.
Yeah, I haven't made it. So I faked it for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm at the point where okay, dude, you were doing it backwards, bro. Let's focus now. Let's work hard now. Let's stay tunnel vision. Let's do what we got to do. And later on, solitas cosas se van a dar, and you're going to live that life, Yeah. You're going to go out and travel and do what you can, You're going to go out and date tus gustos and have the family and have everything you want, But first, it's go time right now.
So now that you found your focus and your passion again, what's next? Last time we talked about a restaurant, you were talking about it now. So what's next for you now?
Oh, wow. Look, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, right? And there's stuff that you could say, you can't say. You know, I learned that if you stay quiet for a bit and then just come out with a surprise, then I think that's even better, right? So it's still in process. That's still my ultimate goal. Open up restaurants and create job opportunities for other people. And like I mentioned, be that leader. Be a leader. Not besides the chef, just be a leader to people, and inspire others to be great. Pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for you to go on Master Chef, bro.
I don't want to win.
We're waiting for that, bro. We need somebody to root for.
Oh yeah, man. That's kind of what it is for me right now.
Cool. Well, hopefully everything comes true, and
Yeah.
and hopefully you invite us because I like to eat. So
I'll for sure have you guys there at the grand opening.
we'll
tell
take
you- I'll
notes
tell you
and
that.
shit.
And then maybe our next podcast would be at the restaurant.
Hey, fuck
Yeah,
yeah,
there you go.
that'd be
That'd be
dope.
dope,
Yeah.
actually.
Just take all the system out there.
Yeah.
We're working on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to do something mobile because
Oh.
he's talked about it.
Yeah, of
He wants
course.
to do mobile stuff like sometimes when we're out and about.
Yeah, hell yeah. Stuff like that.
Like you said, man, just keep improving. Just keep
Absolutely.
improving. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Ready for to move on to the no manches? Are we doing no manches? Yeah, we're doing. I'll start it off because I'm gonna take something that we were talking about earlier about the moms. We were talking about intuitive moms. How they're able to tell when something's wrong or whatever. But my no manches is, I don't know if this ever happened to you guys. All right? You have no kids, huh?
No kids.
Yeah, well, you have daughter, but okay. My mom, there's four guys and one daughter, right? And my mom swears that she knows when somebody's pregnant.
Pregnant?
Pregnant, yeah.
Oh, me too.
Yeah?
Oh, 100%.
Well, I'm saying, like, my mom sueña bebés, and she starts calling and shit. Miguel, ¿está todo bien? And I'm like, because my name is Miguel too.
Yeah.
¿Está todo bien? Y yo, ¿sí por qué? ¿No está so embarazada? No, ¿por qué? What the fuck? Oh, es que soñé un bebé. Soñé un niño. And she'll call all of us, dog.
Dile que a lo mejor soy yo, el Miguel, ¿no?
Around me, go.
No, but my mom will call everybody, bro. My mom will call all of us. Until she's probably like 80% right sometimes and shit, because 80% of the time she's like, one of us had gotten a girl pregnant, so. But it's just weird, fool, you know what I'm saying? My mom be calling everybody fucking asking for it.
Why is that? Like Mexican moms, like, sueñan algo and right away, or like they think it applies or like it's legit.
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess because we're on their mind, like, their kids are on their mind,
Not
no?
even that, but just they'll dream something like, se me cayó una muela. That means something bad. Una muela que se te cae, si sueñas que se te
It's
cae.
that fucking big book of sueños that they buy in Tijuana.
For real.
My mom came back with a big ass fucking book, bigger than the Bible.
Yeah.
And you open it, it has every interpretation of dreams. So
really?
every time she dreams, yeah.
Oh, shit, I need to read that.
Now my mom be fucking going to the book and like, ¿qué soñaste? ¿Qué? And she'll be like, okay, this says go left, go right. Before you know it, you're telling a story, dog. You're like, what the fuck?
I need to read that. I have a lot of dreams.
Yeah, I libros de sueños. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I gotta check that out.
So that's my no manches, intuitive moms.
I'm gonna go a little.
Political fuck.
Nah, not political, bro. It's
What's
just
up?
no manches again, bro. Like,
There's the toilets. Fool, you said that shit already.
no manches, bro. Like another fucking shooting.
Oh, when?
Oh, yeah.
Today.
I heard.
Really?
Tennessee. Another
shit.
fucking shooting. Another kids fool in a school.
Out of school, yeah. 2 kids, no?
3 kids, 3 adults, 3
Wow.
teachers. And again, bro, it's like, damn, bro, like, come on, man. Like, no manches, like, I'm not going to go into a whole debate because you already know how I feel about all this. But once again, it's like,
You're going to say the gun laws.
nah, bro, it's not even that. It's just, once again, it's just people in power for money again, and it doesn't matter. They don't give a shit about us. They don't.
I think with the whole shooting shit, though, I think it's a lot of the times these kids just want to be fucking.
This wasn't a kid.
It was a kid, it was
a
an adult?
20-year-old woman.
Wait, what?
I, don't even- I
20-year-old
haven't, I
woman.
haven't even heard about this, bro, today.
And guess when what? What did she have? 2 assault rifles that were purchased legally, right? And
Okay, but again, you know my debate, bro, because
you open the can of worms, bro. You open it.
but you know me, fool. I don't think it's the assault rifles themselves, dog. I think it's the mental health
You're
of
right.
people.
You're
and
absolutely.
the lack of mental health awareness, or not awareness, but the lack of help from the government for mental health.
And here's where I disagree with. Yeah, it
That,
is.
I think that's the focus.
It is that, and the lack of restrictions. because there's a lot of people
True.
with mental health issues
True, I
that
agree
can
with
go to
you.
a
You should
fucking
not be able to go buy a gun and pick it up within 2 hours.
exactly
There should be an extensive fucking background,
Psychological test.
psychological test, and all that. I agree with you. That we're on par.
Yeah.
But I don't agree that you should ban assault rifles. Like, come on.
No, I'm just saying there should be restrictions, bro. No, not everybody.
Why do you need them? You're gonna say because.
No, not everybody should be able to purchase.
No,
a gun.
I know.
That's
I
what I'm
get
saying.
you. I've told you that. I said that's the problem.
I have a
Fix.
bat.
Huh?
I have a bat in my truck.
Even a bat's dangerous, bro.
No, bat ain't gonna fucking stop bullets, though. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, dog. You never seen the movie?
don't
Shit? Anyway, bro, what's your no manches?
Honestly, I didn't have one. I've been thinking about it since you guys mentioned it, but I do have. You know what came to mind when you said the whole shooting thing? I was like, did you guys hear about like that? No, like there was a twister here in Montebello or something like that.
Oh, yeah, tornado.
the fucking tornado.
Yeah, what the hell? That was like that's my no manches moment. What the hell is that? You know, you only see. I would only see that on the news or like in a movie.
In
Like,
Kansas or
Yeah,
fucking
Oklahoma.
Topeka. Or,
what is it doing here? You know.
That's weird. I don't know. I still don't believe it. I haven't seen the video.
And it was a strong ass tornado.
But
too.
was it a tornado?
Yeah, fool.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
legit.
Yeah.
I forgot the winds reached like what, like a. I don't want to start
know how
mix stuff
tornadoes
up.
form, right?
Yeah. So you see the formation and
But I'm
everything.
saying, do you know how they form?
No.
Not necessarily. No, I don't know the science to it.
Okay, so basically it's when hot air and cold air collide, and then they basically crash, and it forms a fucking tunnel.
So he did. That's what happened.
So I was gonna say, but how the fuck we're not that hot? We're not
But
that
we were
cold.
raining and it was kind of
The,
you know whatever.
the weather change, I think, happened. And when I saw it, I was at the gym and I was looking at the TVs, working out. I was like, what the hell is that?
That should tore the roof
And,
off.
then, and all of a sudden, it's all over Instagram. And I was like, dude, this is real. I think one person got hurt or something like that. I saw
Oh,
it.
like three
Yeah.
people.
Oh, really?
Nobody
Yeah.
died though, right?
No, I don't think so.
You
I
know,
don't
I've
think
always
anybody
wondered about
died.
that. Like, why don't we get tornadoes? Until I saw a documentary as to how tornadoes. I mean, not tornadoes, but hurricanes.
Yeah.
Because
Florida.
we live close to the fucking coastline, right? So I would have thought, fuck, hurricanes should be a thing here too, right? Not that I want them,
Yeah.
pero yo siempre pensaba, like, ¿cómo chingados? ¿Por qué no lo agarramos?
Over coastal city, yeah.
It's not that. It's,
Well, I know,
They come from Africa, you know that, right?
I don't know.
The winds come. I'm fucking dropping knowledge today. I'm knowledgeable today. The winds. There's a fucking corridor with air que viene del norte de Africa, and then when it hits the Atlantic Ocean and it comes towards the Caribbean and to the East Coast, that's when the tornadoes form. I mean, the hurricanes form. So it has to. They start in Africa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, the only thing I have to say about the tornado is I hope that shit drops house pricing though, because technically, you know, we're starting to get tornadoes. Houses should be
That's
cheaper
true.
now. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck
You know what?
that.
I just got my earthquake fucking
Insurance?
insurance thing today. I guess they didn't have earthquake insurance or fire where I'm at.
They're making you get some sort of insurance now.
Yeah,
I got
earthquake,
something.
right?
I got it.
Yeah, I got it today.
Because of that?
No, not because of the hurricane, just
No,
because.
because we're in an earthquake zone. I mean, we're in California.
And we haven't had it in a while too.
But they're gonna charge a lot, huh?
I don't know that.
But anyways, we're no matches this fucking.
Yeah.
We went from deep stuff to fucking
No manches.
intuitive moms to fucking tornadoes. You wanna go? We can finish it off with the words of wisdom.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Again, this is where you get the spotlight, bro.
Okay.
I know you said the first time you came on board. You said
Ser gente con la gente.
ser gente con la gente. But I know that through your process, you probably maybe your words of wisdom has changed. So if you want to talk to our audience and your audience, and spit some game as to what you've been doing to live by.
Yeah, I have it 100%. It's always that. Ser gente con la gente has always been, I think, a motto I live by, and I think we all should live by. Coming from where we come from, but the past, I guess in 3 months, right, that I've been kind of working on myself. I've learned one thing, bro. I've known it, but it really impacted me in this time that I will continue to use it for the rest of my career, my life, right? It's very simple. If God is not in the center of whatever it is that you're working on, your life, your marriage, your relationship, your career, your business, I don't think, if God is not in the center of it, I don't think it would work out. And I'm saying it from personal experience, right? You can blow up really high like a espuma, and all of a sudden somebody blows in it and you're done, dude, right? And that's what happened to me. If you think you're up here, bro, one day God's going to humble you and you're back down here, you hit rock bottom, and you don't want to be in rock bottom, right? Especially when you have a gift that God gave you, and you can use it, you know, not to please others, but to honestly please Him, and that's what it is at the end of the day, right? So my words of wisdom is always keep God. It's something I'm trying to do to the best that I can. Keep God in the center of my life in general and everything that I do.
Cool. Yeah. Well, thank you for your words of wisdom, bro. And again, I want to say thank you on behalf of both of us. I know he's going to say his words. But gracias por venir. And hopefully todo lo que deseas en la vida te salga bien. Y ya dijiste, we're going to be at the grand opening, dog, so don't forget about that.
No, I won't. Heck no, I won't.
I got it on camera, dog. That's a binding contract and shit.
No, yeah, thanks, bro, for reaching out. You know, it meant a lot when you reached out and we talked on the phone a little bit, you know, and just you wanting to come on and share your story with us specifically, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
You could have gone different avenues, man, but we really appreciate you coming on here.
Of course.
Sharing your story and sharing your experience and letting people know, you know. I think that's important is we got to keep sharing these stories from everybody that, you know, that we bring on and just in general. Be real, share your stories, even if it's on social media. You're feeling down, go ahead and share it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not always sunshine and rainbows, like I said earlier, so.
I appreciate it. And thank you guys for having me. It's always a pleasure being with you both. And como les comenté, if there's anything that I can do to be assistant to you guys, then you guys.
When are you making your comeback? To
next week.
Next week? Okay, guys, will this be up before that or after?
No, the week of.
Yeah.
Okay, so stay tuned. If you don't follow him, make sure you follow him. What's your social media handle, just so that...
Chef_Miguel Reyes.
Okay, there you go. Follow him for some good food content, because I know he's going to be getting back on the grind.
Yeah.
We're good, right? We're done for the day.
Yeah?
No, I was going to announce my birthday, but I'll wait for it later. Fuck it.
I was going to announce my birthday.
My birthday's coming up. Fuck that.
All right,
Anyways,
guys,
peace
there
out,
we go.
guys.
All right, thank you.